Hello, welcome to another exciting and practical series. In today's series, we would be solving a question, right? An educative and engaging question in mathematics, change of subject, right? So let's quickly delve into the question, right? So this is series 6, and our question for the day is make D the subject of the relations in reference of A, B, C and E in the given equation. Okay. So we have our A to be A equals B, C multiply or in brackets D square minus D minus E square, right? So let's quickly solve it. So based upon the preamble of our question, right, we have our equation to be A equals BC multiply or in bracket D square minus D minus E square, right? So now in mathematics, right, a square of a number which is n means twice or twice the way or twice the number. Okay, so a square of a number is twice that number, right? So twice that number here, which is D minus E square, means twice D minus E, right? So D minus E square means twice of that number. Okay, so A equals to BC multiply all in brackets D square minus all in bracket D minus C multiply all in bracket D minus E, right? So in simplifying further, we are going to have our A equals B multiplying C, right? All in brackets BC multiply all in brackets D square minus D square minus DE minus DE plus E square, right? So this is how we did our simplification, right? So D here will multiply D, right? For us to get D square. D would multiply negative E for us to get negative DE, right? Negative E will multiply D, positive D for us to get negative DE, right? And negative E would multiply negative E for us to get positive E square. So the rule is that in mathematics, right, negative added to negative gives positive, right? Negative added to positive gives negative. Positive added to negatives give negative, right? And positive added to positive gives positive, right? So negative added to negative will give you positive. So that's how come our mathematical sign change to become positive here, right? So in simplifying further, we are going to have our A equals B C, right? Multiplying all in bracket D square minus D square minus 2DE plus E square, right? So So we want to eliminate brackets, right? So here, right, there's an invisible one attached to this equation, right, behind this equation, right? So it's a negative one, right? So we have our new equation to be a equals bc, right, multiplying d square, okay, and negative one here would multiply d square for us to get negative d square, right? Negative 1 here would multiply negative 2de for us to get positive 2d. So remember the rule I said earlier on, right? That negative and negative added together will give you positive, right? Negative and positive added together will give you negative. Positive and negative added together will give you negative. Positive and positive added together will give you positive, right? So that's how come we had a positive 2d, right? Because this one, this invisible one here is a negative invisible one, so it's a negative one, okay? Because of the minus sign here, so it has made it a negative one, right? So negative 1 multiplying negative 2d will give you a positive 2d, right? And negative 1, okay, multiplying a positive e square will give you a negative e square. So based on the same rule, right? Because a negative is added to a positive and it will become a negative. So that's how can we have negative e square, right? So we are going to have our equation to be a is equal to b square multiplying d square minus d square plus 2de minus e square, right? Now, watch carefully. D square minus d square will give us 0, right? It's nothing. It's to give us nothing. So that means d square minus d square will cancel itself out. And it is also based on the earlier given rule that a positive added to a negative will give you a negative, which is 0, right? So d square here is a positive, minus d square here is a negative, right? So it will cancel itself out. So also cancel here, given us 0, right? So it will give us 0, so it's nothing. So we have our equation to be a equals bc multiplying 2de minus e square, right? So we simplify, okay? We simplify by doing some expansions, right? So a equals b square multiplying 2de minus e square, right? All in bracket. So b square multiplying 2de will give you 2bc de, right? bc multiplying negative e square will give you negative bc square, right? Okay, so we've gotten our equation to be a equals to 2bc de minus bce square, right? So we have to make d the subject of the relations, right? So that means we have to give d the platform to become independent, right? Because right now d is dependent because in it's it's in between variables, right? Here, so we can find d only in 2bcd, right? So it is in between these variables. So for us to give it a fertile ground for for us to make it an independent variable so that it will become the subject of the relations. We have to maintain it here and group like terms with those variables that do not contain d, right? So these variables are a and negative b c e squared, right? So we have a equals 2bcde minus bce squared. So this bce squared is a negative number, it's a negative bce squared. So it will jump the equal to sign here, okay? The equal to sign here, okay, to the other half of the equation. And when a number, okay, this is another rule, when a number crosses the equal to sign, it will change its form to become a to become so if it's a negative number, it will change its form to become a positive number. So if it's a positive number, it will change its form to become a negative number. So it will metamorphose to an inverse variable, right? So this negative bc square will cross the equal to sign here to join a and change its form to become a positive number. So we are going to have our new equation to be a plus bce squared equals 2bcde, right? So we have our new equation to be a plus bce squared equals 2bcde, right? So in order to make d the subject of the relation, we have to make it an independent variable, right? So we have to eliminate all those dependent variables surrounding it, right? And which is 2bce, right? 2bce, right? So in doing so, we have to cancel it out, right, with the entire variable equation, right, which is 2bcd. So in canceling out, what you do for the right hand side, you do same for the left hand side, okay? So we are going to have 2bcd would be cancelled out with 2bce, right? And when we come to our left hand side of the equation, we are going to have the fraction a plus bce squared divided by 2bce, right? So from here we have to do some cancellations. So 2bc will cancel itself out. Okay, it will cancel 2 to cancel bc, and to cancel also e, leaving d to be the subject of our relation. So the subject of our relation, which is d, so now d has become an independent variable, and now d equals the fraction a plus bce squared over 2bce, right? So this is our final answer. D equals the fraction a plus bce squared over 2bc. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Kindly do well to subscribe